Hey guys, this is Matthias from 5 Minutes of Poker, and today I'm going to talk about opening ranges and what cards you can and should open from the cutoff in 6-max Holdem, or when it's your turn to act with 3 players left on a table with more than 6 players. First up, this is the range I'm playing. I'm playing around 27% of my hands. And as I discussed in my video of middle position, as your ranges grow wider and wider, it's becoming less important which hands you open, because all the hands you add are gonna be very similar in equity, and it's gonna be more important that the players that are acting behind you, what tendencies they have. So 4-3 suited or king-9 off or 10-7 suited, they're all going to have pretty same equity against a big blind who defends with 40% of his hands. So given that, it's becoming more and more important to know your opponent's tendencies. The things to look out for when you're opening from the cutoff is how often does the button 3-bet, how often does he cold call. If he cold calls a lot, does he fold a lot to c-bets, or is it tough post flop? Because if he calls a lot but then folds a lot to c-bets, it doesn't really matter because you're gonna make a profit. But if he calls a wide range and then doesn't really fold, you're gonna have a hard time winning with a lot of the speculative hands. And also, if he 3-bets a decent amount, let's say 10%, then you need to adjust. Also, how the small blinds plays is quite important. Many players these days play with a very small calling range and a large 3-bet range, so look out for that and adjust accordingly. If someone 3-bets more than 10% from the small blind against the cutoff, you need to adjust and either tighten up your range or start 4-betting him more. And similarly, if he only 3-bets something like 5-6%, you can open wider, because your weak hands are not going to lose that much value because he under 3-bets. And the same with the big blind. If it's a weak player, open more hands because you want to play pots against him. If it's a tight player, open more hands because you're gonna make a profit when he overfolds. If he's a tough regular who 3-bets a lot, then you might need to adjust. And the same thing is if he protects his big blind a lot but then folds to c-bet on the flop a lot, then you can open wider. And I've done the analysis in hand to note also to see what hands other regulars open, and you can see here that there's the cutoffs begin at ace-9 off is a definite cutoff, and then some players play ace off, ace jack off. There's some debate on the 9 off cards, 9 off suited cards, and then king x suited, and then a little which of the suited connectors you should play. I created a diagram, and as I said earlier, this program color range is available for free. I've created it, and you can create your own ranges and color them, and you can change the colors, and it's available on my website, and there's a link in the description. Here the green cards represent 24%, and I would say that's the minimum you should open from the cutoff. Even against tough opponents, I'd open at least 24%. And the blue cards that are more debatable sums up to, you can see it down here, 31%. So these are cards that you can add depending on your playing style. If you like, if you prefer to barrel a lot, where you can go bet and then win hands with flushes, then maybe you want to play the king x suited. Or if you prefer to flop high equity solid pair hands, then you can add the ace 9, king 9 off, ace 8 off, etc. I mean, you can, as I said earlier, the difference in EV between each extra hand you add is getting smaller and smaller, so it's more up to your playing style and the opponents you're playing against that decides which cards that are profitable to open. If we look at what Snowie does, this is the range Snowie suggests, raising 2.5 pot, which is 2.25x. I built my own diagram to show it more clearly. So Snowie suggests playing around 25% of the hands raising when you're raising 2.25x. Which is tight, but as I said, this is probably due to the fact that people under 3-bet and the players that Snowie play against 3-bet him more, which forces him to tighten up his range. And if you would ask Snowie how much he would open with the 3x raise, he would open less than this. I've also created a diagram with how the distribution looks like of the winning regs. And I'm gonna show it to you. I'm just gonna load it. I had it somewhere. Yeah, I'll take it from Paint instead. Yeah. So this is the range. You can see the average is 27.7%. Somewhere between 24% and 32% will capture like 85-90% of all the winning regs. So you need to open somewhere around that area. And that's what I had to say about what hands you should and can open in the cutoff. As always, if you have any suggestions or comments on presentations or possible topics, please leave a message on the channel, or you can send me an email to Mattias, Mattas @lagro.com. Take care and good luck at the tables.